This institution, the Article I branch of our government, is not an accessory to the executive branch, and we demean ourselves in our proper constitutional role when we act like we work for the president, that we are only here to do his bidding, especially now.
How did it happen? Our next guest, Jason Johnson, is a PhD in political science. We'll see if political science can explain the collapse of the Republican Congress into a cult-like situation. Republicans used to vehemently object to the idea of the President of the United States shaking hands with the North Korean dictator, but then, when the Trump cult took over Washington, everything changed.
Barack Obama had said that he would meet with some of these madmen without any preconditions.
Obama is bowing and scraping before dictators.
He said, you know, I'm going to reach out to these crazy people around the world.
One of the things I fear the most is Barack Obama catering to the world's dictators is literally the Neville Chamberlain of our time.
President Trump proves the experts wrong again and scores a stunning diplomatic triumph.
The President of the United States had agreed to sit down face-to-face with Kim Jong-un, the dictator of North Korea. It's clearly historic.
I gave the President of the United States a standing ovation. I think it's breathtaking, it's audacious, it's bold. It will be historic.
The Commander-in-Chief's leadership is now leading to a major foreign policy breakthrough as it relates to North Korea.
Joining our discussion now, Jason Johnson, politics editor at TheRoot.com and an MSNBC contributor. Jason, how did it happen? Bob Corker complaining about his Republican Senate colleagues as a cult at this point.
You know, the Republican branding to Cult 45 has been going for a couple of years now, right? This idea that you can get elected, that you can be empowered, that you can push through policy, not because of some long-existing principle, but just because you have a personality that people like. And the Republican Party has been pushing for this for years, right? I mean, look, this goes back to Reagan. You know, there was a cult of Reagan that we were talking about all the way up until Romney. I don't know if you remember this, but remember a couple years ago, there was actually like a bid for some of Reagan's blood. I mean, that's as cult-like as you can get. There were people who worship Reagan. But what's been happening with Trump is that there is no policy associated with it. It's just who people think Trump is, and the Republican Party is going to follow him down this path, and it ends up like most cults end up, which is death and destruction to everybody involved.
The fascinating point that has brought out Bob Corker is this presidential use of tariffs, which is limited to national security. This is clearly a violation of the intent of the law written by Congress. It will be found to be a violation of international trading rules in the World Trade Organization. America wins its cases in the World Trade Organization. This time it's going to lose. Under Trump, it's finally going to lose. And Bob Corker is stunned that his colleagues in the Congress have surrendered their power over the president over this. And I have to say, this is the thing during the Trump campaign that I never anticipated, that Congress, Republicans in Congress, would not use their powers in relation to the White House.
Yeah, they've become completely supplicant. You know, the tension between the different branches of government is sort of, it's built in. It's baked into the cake, right? Congress doesn't want to have complete fealty to the president. The judiciary wants to remain independent. And that conflict, that sort of team of rivals situation that we have between our branches of government is how we have stopgaps, is how we keep control. And this Congress, under Mitch McConnell and under Paul Ryan, have decided that we don't care. We're going to give up any of our responsibilities. We're not going to do any oversight. We're going to pass sanctions against Russia, and Donald Trump is going to say, I don't feel like it. We're going to allow this president to make proclamations and make policies one way or another. We're not going to stop him. And look, what frustrates me about this, it's great that Jeff Flake says things. It's great that Bob Corker says things, but they're not really doing anything about it. They're basically firemen standing around with a limp hose next to a fire saying, man, I wish somebody would do something about this. They should be spending every waking moment of their remaining months in Congress saying, I will not vote for this person. I will not allow this person to be approved. I will stop everything that could occur in this Congress until we get some of these amendments passed. And they're not doing that. They're just complaining. That's why a lot of these sort of, you know, virtue signaling by these Republicans, it doesn't impress me.
Jason Johnson, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. To see more videos, click right here, and subscribe.